Welcome to the show. This is Final Voice TV. Today we have one gentleman from Nigeria to talk to. We're looking at the road to 2023 general elections and national issues in Nigeria. We are speaking to Mr. Olalekan Salami. Welcome to the show, sir.
Okay, welcome. Good afternoon.
Yeah, I think I had your name wrong. You are Olalekan Abdul Salam. Abdul Salam. So welcome once again. We're looking at the road to next year's elections.
Yeah.
And national issues in Nigeria. So we begin by asking you, what are the sincere expectations of voters in next year's elections in Nigeria?
Okay. Are you done with your question?
Yeah, I'm done with the first question. So
okay. Firstly, we have two main structure, two main party in Nigeria, two main party. Yeah, the party is APC and PDP. Although they are interwoven between each other, they cross carpet. APC guys move to PDP, PDP guys move to APC or other smaller party. But in the two main party, we have two main. One in APC, we have one structure. The guy that owns, he has his own structure. He merged it with APC. Is not there was no APC before 2015. So some guys came together, like a guy from, we call him Tinubu. He moved his structure from. Then it was ACN. Yeah, he's moving structure from the southwest, ACN, and he has influences from other parts, maybe from the northwest and not central. It's from the south, because we have, let me start with the regions in Nigeria. We have
so if I understand you well, you are giving us a brief history of the Nigerian political landscape and how some parties came into being before you tell us the expectations of the voter in Nigeria. Okay.
Yeah, I'm coming from I had to limit it to 2015.
Yeah.
Because as of 2015, before 2015, there was no party called APC. So some guys came together. It controls the southwest, and the name of the party leader is Bola A. Tinubu. They call him Asiwaju or Jagaban. Why there was the serial loser from the northwest. They call him Muhammadu Buhari. Although we can call him serial loser, but he always have a vote from the north central, northeast. But the vote from the northeast and north central can never bring him to power. He has been contesting, having the numbers, but the numbers, he needs somebody to collaborate with him coming from the south zone. The north alone cannot give you the presidency in Nigeria. So he had to merge with Bola A. Tinubu. They had the merger, and there are some, we call them NPDP. Some guys had to move, they disagree with Jonathan, then the president, because he already made some proclamation that he will step down after his 4 years. So he never stepped down, but he keep on like appealing to the northerners because he really wants the power. And no matter how you appeal to the north is like, this is what you told us. No matter the money you give to them, this is what. So let me just cut it short. At the end, APC emerged as presidency. So to date now, we still have two main parties, APC and PDP. Yes, we have the third force now. We call it Labour Party. They are the OBs. So really, we can say,
referring to the obedience people, as we have heard on this TV. Okay.
They are the OBs. So the OBs are like, yes, we are coming, you are coming, we want to take power, we are the youth. And they've forgotten that OB is not a youth, but with what Obi normally says, they feel like, okay, Tinubu, he has been there. Some people just agree with him that, oh, Tinubu, you are the one that brought, one of the major issue they have with Tinubu is like, he's the one that brought Muhammadu Buhari into power. No doubt, he went against the Jonathan administration because he also contributed to the Jonathan election 2011, but they messed up, so he had to. I think party is about interest. Election is about interest and the numbers. He knows that Muhammadu Buhari has the numbers, so you have to ally. You have to ally, bring us two forces together.
Yeah.
So now, and they've forgotten the present electoral environment now still favors the APC and PDP. Really, I would say it favors more of the APC. They've forgotten, yes, we have the vote, the youth have the number. Does the youth in the north align with you, with what you guys are coming, with what you guys are bringing on?
Yeah. So what are the sincere expectations of the voter in Nigeria come next elections?
The sincere expectation is like, let me don't lie to you. Okay, let me say Labour Party might have the Northeast, because they said, oh, the Igbos have not been in power for so long and stuff like that. Yes, nobody go against that. But the problem is that if you know that you want to be part, you have to play, you have to participate in politics. You don't have to be like, put all your eggs in one basket. That is what they're doing. And again, don't forget, in politics, you build bridges, you don't burn bridges. That is what we count against them big time.
All right. See? So let me hear you.
The problem is that, what about the North? The South is already divided. So being said, no matter how you do the rally, Tinubu will have his own numbers in the Southwest. I'm not talking about the Southeast. But the Southwest, forget about it. Forget about it. He will have his number. The number is there for him.
So just like in other jurisdictions, Nigerians also go by regions. I mean, regions determine who becomes the leader of the country.
Yeah. Regions determine, and the people that have the regions, and apart from regions, numbers. The Northerners are like political. They are political animals. They don't care about this social stuff so much. They might have it, but they believe that politics is their life. So during the election, we from the South, we believe that, oh, they've already rigged the election. The Northerners don't believe on that. I was privileged to like have the insight in the northern part of Nigeria. I stayed in the north for some time, and I have a lot of Northerners as friends. To be sincere, the environment does not favor Obi.
Sure. So if I'm a voter tomorrow or next year,
yes,
what are some 2 or 3 key policies that I should look out for?
Okay.
If you're a leader, let's say Mr. Tinubu or Mr. Peter Obi or Mr. Atiku, we will know contested in last 5 years or 4 years ago. What are the problems facing Nigeria, and who among these 3, I mean, is really pointing out to these issues and how they can solve them for Nigeria?
Really, they've not yet started pointing out a lot of stuff. What Obi is giving out is like, there's the problem. But problem, we know definitely. A day-old baby will tell you there's a problem with Nigeria. But what are the solutions?
Because we're looking at limited foreign exchange capacity in Nigeria now. I'm talking about the lack of confidence in currency valuations in Nigeria. Let's talk about the inadequate infrastructure, let's say housing. My research tells me that Nigeria has a backlog of about 28 million housing units. Who among these 3 is addressing these issues? Currency issues, foreign exchange issues, agriculture issues, and housing issues. Energy issue is another topical thing in Nigeria. Who among these 3 is really hitting the nail in the head when it comes to...
Now, none have really addressed it, but due to antecedent of Bola A, Tinubu, we know what he can do. We know It's not like about the leader might not be the one that will do it. He identified talents a lot. He builds up people. So now they've not started a campaign. People are just saying like the three contestants have not been really saying something, understand? But just like they then they asked me, he said, oh, there's a problem. Well, what are the solutions? He cannot give out the solution. If he talks about limited foreign exchange, he's one of the major importer is one of the major importer in Nigeria. He has he owns this, what they call it, cash and carry store, I've forgotten, in Nigeria. They import what they sells in the stores. We shouldn't import. We can import, but we shouldn't import everything. I think Nigeria import everything. If not for our soul, they can even import soul.
So when it comes to foreign currency issues, foreign exchange issues in Nigeria, Peter Obi is to blame. Are you?
No, we are not blaming Peter Obi. I said you also import. Even you talk about Nigeria is import-based economy. You are also doing some such thing. So you also have to take part of the blame. You don't have to run away from it.
Okay, so you mentioned Mr. Peter Obi, and I have this question. Let's look at the emergence and popularity of Mr. Peter Obi. What is becoming new in Nigerian politics?
See, the status, the what they call it, there's nothing new. See, people will scream, election will go, you go back to the normal day. Because when we talk about no matter how anything that springs up, the Labour Party and stuff, let me tell you something to be sincere. On the 20th, or maybe February, the men will be separated from the boys. When you start seeing the numbers, recently, INEC brought out this thing, what do you call it? The numbers of people that collected their PVC. They call it permanent voters card, stuff like that. I've forgotten the phone. Maybe it's card, yeah.
No problem.
The Northwest, they are still ahead of all the region in Nigeria. If I could list the Northwest, the numbers favors APC. The Northwest, it is where we have the highest number of voters. Let me put it this way: we have the Northwest, Kano is Northwest, Katsina is Northwest, Zamfara Northwest, Kaduna Northwest, Jigawa also Northwest. There are like 6 or 7 Northwest states.
So these states are voting for Mr. Tinubu, or they are vouching for Mr. Tinubu because of development or because of regional-based elections in Nigeria?
No, it's not by regional basis. It's because of the party structure.
Oh, okay. So, what is becoming new? I refer to the emergence and popularity of Mr. Peter Obi. Is he popular just on social media, or is really on the ground and winning the elections next year?
It's not that he's popular on social media, unless I want to deny that. I have friends that are like Peter Obi and this. They're one of the why something that is new, little bit new, is because the Igbos have not become they've not become the president since Nigeria after the independence. But the problem is that they forget that it is where you actively participate. That is where you have to reap from that. They are like, they follow, it's like a one region, what they call it, one region party, one party region, you understand? Like if you come to Southwest, Lagos, we know it is APC. But still, PDP still have their numbers. If you go to Oyo State now, the present governor of Oyo State is from PDP. But if you go to the north, southeast, if not 4 or 5, or less the one that become to other party, they are all what? PDP.
Okay.
And every governor still want to maintain his political stand. I am the leader. If you want re-election, and Peter Obi is from my region. He's Labour Party. I am PDP as a governor. And I want to go for second term. What will you do? Would you protect your own interest?
Yeah. I mean, that is politics, as people may say.
Yeah. He's from Labour Party. You allow Labour Party to outshine you, kick you out because someone is from your region contesting for Labour Party, contesting presidency in Labour Party. Such thing has happened in Southwest during Obasanjo era, the first emergence of Obasanjo, 1999. Yorubas never supported Obasanjo because of they got angry that MKO ought to be the president and he was killed. So 1999, the North region and maybe Southeast and some Southwest, they brought out Obasanjo. And the Southwest, they have their own what they call the candidate. They call him Olufalaye. The Southwest went for Olufalaye. All the Southwest, they never voted Obasanjo. Obasanjo is from the Southwest. But the Southwest voted for Olufalaye. After 1999, second term, so they said, okay, let us support Obasanjo. He's our son, you understand? So what they did was they said, I've forgotten the way they do the election schedule. All the Southwest states governor lost their seat. I think they said, okay, because they are from AD, then they were Alliance for Democracy, and Obasanjo is PDP. So they voted for Obasanjo, whereas, voters is like, I just want to vote for presidency. I voted for PDP umbrella. I can't just start looking for AD again, another logo. So they just vote, as they are voting for the presidency, they are voting the same party on this thing. So all of them lost their seats, the governorship, except Lagos State. Bola A Tinubu, because he did something, what do you call it? Awareness. We can vote for this thing, but we are not voting in Lagos State. We are not voting PDP as governor. So that is the same thing is playing out now. Everybody wants to protect their interests. And now the North region, and again, there's a problem. Peter Obi guys is like, I don't know, maybe it's an apology of IPOB. And the Northerners, you've already created enemy between the IPOB have already created an enemy in the North. Because they called the Northerners, what do you call it? Cow. So the cow you called them some years ago will now vote for you.
Yeah, I get the drift here. So what is fading away in Nigeria's politics? What is becoming new and what is fading away?
Okay. People are now aware that okay, our strengths can count. We can bring another person that can or what do you call it? They can be third force. We want to take out these two major dominant parties, APC and PDP. That is what is about to fade out. But the problem is that they don't have the money and the structure to fade out these people.
So Nigerians wish there is a third force, but that third force is not well prepared to win.
It's not well prepared. It's not well prepared. Because when the election comes, how many local government do we have in Nigeria? We have 774 local governments. In one local government, I don't know how many party agents will you have. Party agents are not doing that for humanitarian service. Do you understand? And some local government are very massive, especially if we go to Niger State. Let me just put in the context of Lagos State. We have 20 local government. We with LCD 30 something. Everything is 54. In one local government, maybe you might have, I don't know, maybe 100 party agents because they kind of split it to ward by ward. So how will you do that? That is the structure we are talking about. Party agents. party agents. You are not, if you don't have party agent, how can you? Because people can easily do some kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, so let's look at politics, as you mentioned, that no matter what we do, some regions will root for one party. Let's look at religion factor in politics. It's been believed that Mr. Tinubu had chosen a running mate who is also somewhat a northerner or a Muslim. Does that play a role in Nigeria?
You know, Nigeria is always like, yeah, we have some, I will not lie to you, we have some region in Nigeria that are not religious tolerance. You understand? We have some regions that are not religious tolerant. The northern part is also like that. The southeastern part is also. I think the major religious tolerance in Nigeria is the southwest, the region. Southwest is more tolerant. But the problem is that the problem we are having now is that they said the APC does not have a credible Christian from the north to fill it. But the problem is that, have you forgotten the political calculations? Election is about, you calculate, you don't just do something based on your emotions. It's about political calculation. They know Shetima will give them the votes. In the APC, if you look at the APC, the party and the people in there, there's a guy called Bashir Lawal. He was expecting that they will use him as a vice. He doesn't have electoral value. Why did Muhammadu Buhari won? Because he has electoral value. Not like he's the best candidate from the north. Yeah, and again, he wants you to, okay, he's not corrupt, they know him. But the problem is that electoral value matters a lot. If I have all the money and I don't have electoral value, forget it. You don't win anything. So that is why they decided to go for Shetima. Shetima did well when he was the governor, when he was the governor of Borno. So people were just shouting, just screaming, oh, this thing. We are not tolerant enough. People have forgotten that if a Christian becomes the president of Nigeria, whatever will happen, will happen. There might still be killing. That is one thing most people don't understand. And the Muslim, Christian, nobody, they don't know you. They just want a good leader. That is it. Why they decide to go for Muslim is the political calculation. That is it.
It has to go with strict religion factor, but calculations as to who can help me win the elections.
That is it. It's not about religion. It is about religion. If it's about religion, the imam should also come outside, or the pastors, and understand. It's the political calculations. They calculated it very well that this guy is coming from the north. Like, you just imagine. And again, there's one thing I will not lie to you. The Northerners have not really absorbed the Northern Christian like that. Or they don't have a strong Northern Christian. Imagine they brought out as the vice president, the VP to Tinubu, Solomon Lalong is the governor of Jos. Solomon Lalong cannot win Kaduna, Kano. Listen for you, never.
Yeah, so before we move on, we would like to not just to forget this question about who is really into the anti-corruption crusade. You sure Tinubu or Mr. Obi or Mr. Atiku is somebody who is being known for his anti-corruption crusade image or character?
In that aspect,
in this case, we will ask you: is Mr. Tinubu that type that can really fight corruption in Nigeria? Because corruption remains a menace in Nigeria, and it's about time Nigerians have leaders who can actually fight corruption in Nigeria.
The corruption issue in Nigeria, it is something that it has eating deep into the fabric of. I will not say all Nigerians. We still have good people that can, the good people that can really fight corruption. But the problem is that the forces are too much.
Okay.
The forces are very strong. Can we start from the military? The forces are too much. The problem is that when you one of the way to discourage corruption is that the House of Assemblies, the senator reduce the salary. Don't allow them to have access to access to directors, like taking up contracts. Unless you can make the House of Assembly as a part-time job. People take up contracts like contract of, let me just put it, $100 million contract, whereas you've already paid the directors almost 40 million. How much do you want to use to what they call execute the project? Somebody has already taken up maybe more than half. And you want to do standard road, and it's worth maybe maybe $60,000, $60 million or something like that. You've already given somebody more than 40%. Not given, they've already taken bribe.
I get the picture.
It has eaten deep. If you go to the airport, it is even worse. It's not about the government that is corrupt. A lot of people.
So politicians are not to blame for corruption in Nigeria. That is your final issue.
No, I'm not saying they're not to blame. I say individual. And one question I want to ask, is the politician at the airport? The problem is that we need to build, not building individual. We need to make our organization. Is it organization? Yeah, organization like the police.
People believe that Mr. Buhari, General Muhammadu Buhari, had won elections because people believed he's an anti-corrupt character or figure, and that when given the nod, he will fight corruption to the core. But Nigerians didn't see that much of Buhari fighting corruption or mismanagement. And that is why there was a need for me to ask the question, who among these people, or if it's about Tinubu, do you think Mr. Tinubu can really fight corruption henceforth?
Okay. The problem is that I won't say any of them can fight without corruption. Unless we block leakages. How do you block leakages? One man, or maybe I don't know, maybe we have to. The problem is that our constitution, no matter what anybody will say, I will not lie to you, I'm a big fan of Tinubu, but the problem I will tell you is that they have to block leakages. They have to. There should be a strange law that would, like, maybe I don't know, the law that will incarcerate the person, the person that someone that takes the bribe or give the bribe. We need a tough law like the China law. Going to 5 years jail doesn't count, because immediately the day you are being held, you've been summoned to court, go to court, maybe for 1 year, and after the 1 year, the judge gave you like a 4 years imprisonment on stuff like that. They will count the 1 year you have been going to court, sitting in your house like that. 4 years. And at times, the problem is that it is very funny. Someone will steal like maybe $100 billion, and you give him 2 years. If you are the one, what will you do? Won't you see it? Won't you steal maybe $1 trillion?
Of course, it may influence someone to do the worst, because he knows in the end you're going to be in prison for just 2 years and come back home.
2 years, they might even put in an executive lodge in the prison. The problem is that we need the tough law. we need a new constitution, or we need to amend our 1999 constitution. The 1999 constitution is totally like there's a lot of things that needs to be changed.
Okay, so you believe the constitution of Nigeria should be changed. Can we hear your last submission about the road to 2023 elections in Nigeria and development issues? Just in your submission, I want you to point out one major policy by this incumbent government that you think is the best policy for Nigerians.
Okay, one major policy I can just point out is just like giving Dangote, no, it's not tax relief. Instead of them to take the tax from Dangote, they instructed him to construct road instead of taking the money from him. Because there are some road Dangote constructed. I can't really pinpoint a lot of things Muhammadu Buhari has done, because I will not lie to you, he kind of failed because a lot of expectation was on him. I believe he did not use the right people. And again, another problem is the emergence of Fulani S-men. The policy I would just bring, I would just say, just the construction of roads, and again the rail. I think train is back in Nigeria.
So when it comes to road and rail infrastructure in Nigeria, you think Mr. Buhari and his team have really done well? They really achieved something in the road and rail sector?
Yeah, for that I'll give them both pass.
Your last submission in about 2 minutes, sir.
Last submission, we just want Nigeria to be great, and we want the power to be fixed. When power is fixed in Nigeria, and Nigerians should change their attitude towards things. We complain about bad government, we should also find a way to be a good citizen. That is it. We just need power. When we have power, everything, like electricity, when we have power, everything will be in place.
I just received a text message and I'm being asked to ask you, my production team wants to know, do you foresee the elections come on next year? Because there is this kind of tension, and people, the naysayers or the doomsayers believe that Nigeria may have to postpone the elections next year.
No, if they have to postpone. During Muhammadu Buhari 2015, they postponed it by 1 month due to maybe, I don't know, maybe due to the terrorist guy, or I don't know, maybe electoral, maybe the materials and stuff like that. They just proposed it for maybe 2 weeks or 1 week, I think so.
You think the environment is so polarized that people are having some kind of hegemony or some enmity among each other, and that
definitely. Sorry, continue. Sorry for
that there could be some kind of a war or what? Like
there will not be war. That is it. The only thing I believe that will happen in Nigeria after the election is just riot.
Do you think after the elections there can be riot in Nigeria?
There can be kind of maybe riot.
So
unless Muhammadu Buhari act fast and put the security personnel in the right place. But I'm not talking about the southeast. Don't
you think it's Biafra being repackaged or being brought back in a different style? This time around, Biafra being democratic.
There's nothing like democratic already, because they started taking arms against the Nigerian government. One, they started killing themselves. That's what we call self-destruction. Because they did not believe, they still have it in mind. I think we also have some similar thing in Southwest, like the Oduduwa Republic. Because a lot of people did not even buy to it. That is why those people are not even coming up like that. A lot of Southwest people from Southwest did not buy into the Oduduwa Republic. Assuming they buy into it, I think an average Southeastern, they still have the Biafra in their mind. Understand? But Southwest does not even believe in that so in Oduduwa Republic. Because Southwest only shy away from raw riot and stuff like that. That is why someone said, if the South, the Yorubas decide, I think we are leaving. leaving Nigeria. That is goodbye.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Olalekan Ahmed Salam. Thank you for the history and everything about Nigeria's elections and the road to 2023 general elections in a mighty nation in West Africa, Nigeria. Thank you for coming on Final Voice TV, and we really appreciate your contribution.
Okay, thank you, sir.